the prices at the sale seemed fairly good, but I was selling quite near the end. And so I don't know whether people just bought what they wanted and then the competition dropped down, but it definitely felt like it just sort of slumped. It's Monday today and we've just brought the lambs down. So lambs are just coming in the shed now, and we're having a bit of a sort out and preparing for Friday, because we've got a lamb sale on Friday. So it's nearly a month since we sold the last lot. So these lambs have had a bit of time to grow. They're the lambs that were not as big, but they've been fed on creep. And so today we've just got a few that are a touch lame, so we're going to identify those and spray them and start tagging, I think. So then we'll get them in again on Thursday, and we'll perhaps just then on Thursday sort out the sort of larger groups from the smaller ones,
Keep them in for the night.
how we might split them up and then keep them in for the night. But yeah, on the whole, I'm overall pleased with how they've come on in the last month, which is a positive. So just going to look at them one pen at a time and keep them walking around a bit so we can look for any that might be lame. And trying to look on the positives. And I think we've got some really nice lambs, so I'm definitely pleased. They definitely look better when they're dry. Definitely. So the ewes are coming in now, just to look at any lame ones, and that's the main thing really, just looking at lame ewes. There's just a few. So some fresh grass for the ewes. They're going to eat this field off this week. They will hopefully enjoy that. They've not been in here for a while. A nice dry day for working today. It's been good. So we're just doing a count up here and separating off homebred sheep. So I think there's 16 if you don't mind counting them. So which means that all we've got out here are all mules. So they're going to go back into the shed now. And the reason why we're separating them and having a sort out is because I've made quite a big decision that I'm going to sell the mules and I'm not lambing the sheep this year. And I'm just having a bit of time out to try and reevaluate what it is that I want to do with the sheep and going forward sheep farming. It's been a really tough few years, particularly found, lambing since Dad's been hard anyway, but the last couple of years, particularly this last year with the weather being horrendous and having more sheep and more problems as well, just found it really, really difficult. And as time's gone on this summer, I've just been evaluating and thinking I just want to have a bit of a pause. Farming is like being on a treadmill. It's like never really stops. And there's the campsite as well, which is, a significant amount of time and stress for me on top of the farming. So yes, I've made this decision, but we're not selling them all. We're keeping these. We're also going to keep some of the lambs back. So it's not going to be a sheep-free farm. We're just not going to do lambing. And what we do next, at least now we have a bit of time to decide. Whereas once we start on the lambing train, it's just going to be all systems go again. And it just doesn't feel like the right thing to do this time. Come on then. So yeah, so these are the ones that are staying. All the ones that have been lovingly raised here on the farm. And whether we decide to put the ram to them, we've still got a ram, so whether we decide to do that or not, it's still undecided.
Yeah, there's no
So I think that this is like mostly the selection that we've made. We're just going to have a bit of a count up now and see how many we've got. They look really good. It's nice that they look dry and fluffy and quite clean. So this is all ones that we've tagged that should be good to go, and we're going to divide them into ewe lambs and wethers. It's a good opportunity just to give these a quick mineral drench, as they've not been done for a little bit. So mineral drench and a yellow mark on the head, and they can go back out in the field. Right, so we've just split them into males and females, or rather we've identified which one's a male, which one's a female. It's because we're going to enter some ewe lambs, and now we're going to run them back through the shed again, and I guess just then start trying to size them, so larger rather than smaller, so that we can work out what we've got to sell on the day in terms of pen sizes. And so these are all ewe lambs, interestingly enough. Quite a decent number of ewe lambs and less of the wethers. So these we decided are the best of the ewe lambs for this time. So the biggest of the ewe lambs, and then at the back we've got slightly smaller ewe lambs, and then the wethers are over here at the minute. So just going to give these a little mark on the head, and then tomorrow we can hopefully split them down into, I think, three pens altogether, or three lots in the ring. So these are all the ewe lambs. They're going to be in tonight, so I'm just bedding it down at the moment with some straw and some hay, and they'll be ready to load come the morning. All over the place. So it's pretty dark because it's about 6:30, and we're just going to load up the first group, which is the ewe lambs. So 7:10. It's still pretty dark and very quiet at the market. It's all going to change over the next few hours. This is the second load. Nick's just having a count up. Will they all fit?
39.
So these are our 2 pens. So that's 2 lots of lambs dropped off. We think we've taken about 76. And now we're going to go back and sort out the ewes. The ewes are in the field. So we've got, like, I don't know, maybe 45 to send. We have actually asked for some help with transport, so our trailer probably only take about 20 ewes. So we've still got 9 lambs in the shed to bring down. So we're going to be coming down to the market a 3rd time, and then we'll stay down here. But yeah, so the next thing is get the ewes in. Hopefully Bill, who is helping us, is going to arrive about 8:30. So yeah, the ewes are coming in now. Last time we were quite early in the running order. This time we're pen number 102 onwards, so it's going to be a longer day today. We've spotted some whoppers. They're much bigger than our lambs, and these are maybe similar, and they're maybe a bit smaller. Oh, they've got a triangular shaped pen. They look all right, and then they look good. They all look good. So these are ours. They're not ours. They're somebody else's. All crammed in. And then these are ours. And these are ours. I think our lambs are looking particularly average, I would say. Average lambs. So if we get an average price, then can't complain about that. So I don't know, 95, £100 a head maybe. So I'm back from the sale and with my remaining ewes, and it was a disappointing affair. Yeah, very disappointing, but that just feels like that's the theme of this year. Or maybe life's disappointing, sheep farming's disappointing. So I was selling 43 mules, which means that I've sold my mules basically, and I'm just keeping my homebred sheep. And the prices were, a bit disappointing. Like 98 for the best pen, 20, and I think 90 for the other pen, and less for a smaller group of 3. So yeah, all in all, don't feel like they fetched a very good price. Same with the lambs, I think they should have fetched more. And yeah, just the feeling of all the work that you put in and the quality of what you produce and keep, and it doesn't seem to be rewarded financially. So yeah. So after all the mayhem of the market, just having a check round the stock that's left, and it's a very misty, murky day, as you can see. And yeah, just got the opportunity to try and reflect on the outcome. Like I said, I was disappointed in the sale. So yeah, so lamb's got 94, 91, 89 per head. And then the ewes, the breeding ewes, got like 98 for the best, and then some got 90. and yeah, it was a bit less than I thought they were worth. And yeah, so what's the positive of this? The positive is I've learned that I was putting a lot of energy into this and it hasn't really brought me enough financial return, financial reward, and it's not bringing me a great deal of satisfaction. So I need to put my energy into something different, because this hasn't really worked. It doesn't feel like it's been a good use of my energy, and it's taken up a lot of my time bringing the sheep on. Had to pay for staff to help on the campsite so that I can put my time into the farm. So I need to put my energy into something that's going to make more money. And what that's going to be, how that's going to work, I don't know at this moment in time, but now at least I've got the opportunity to have a think about it. So I'm just glad that the sort of big day that I was dreading, it was going to be difficult, it was going to be emotional, is done. So 85 lambs sold today and 43 mules. So it's the day after the sheep sale and it's a really lovely morning. Yesterday we were just thick in the fog for the entire day, but here today some lovely mist and some colours in the sky, and tonight we enter our like daylight saving zone where the clocks are going to go back. So at the moment we're waiting for sunrise. I think it's about now at 7:55, and tomorrow it'll be an hour earlier, so that's good. And I think we're due quite a nice spell of weather, so just looking at the mist. So reflecting on the sale yesterday, like I've had a chance to sleep on it now and think about it and speak to some people, and the general consensus was that the lambs and the ewes were probably worth a bit more than what I got for them yesterday. And it was a bit disappointing. The prices at the sale seemed fairly good, but I was selling quite near the end. And so I don't know whether people just bought what they wanted and then the competition dropped down. But it definitely felt like it just sort of slumped when I was selling my lambs. So that's disappointing for me, especially when you put that much effort into it. And the same with the ewes. Like I asked advice of people, so I'm always really grateful for anybody that gives me advice down at the market. And they said, like, you know, don't let them go for less than 90. So we didn't, but they only made just above that, and I guess I felt like they were worth more than that. Nice sheep like that. But that's where we are, and I guess it reaffirmed, this whole disappointing process reaffirms that it's the right thing for me to reduce down my interest in sheep farming, because it's not making me any money. It leaves me with a bad taste in my mouth of disappointment and feeling like they're worth more. And it's been a really, really hard year, and I feel like I've sacrificed so much and it hasn't really paid me back. So yeah, time to reevaluate and think of something else to do instead.